Hi, I'm Shaul. In this video I will show you and discuss some of the worst and best lenses for true-to-life photography. I'll start with the 20mm category. I find this focal length to be the really widest focal length suitable for shooting people. I never feel I don't get wide enough or close enough with this type of field of view. In the 20mm category, there are plenty of flat lenses that just don't convey life. Sometimes I think there should be a small metal plate declaring not suitable for living things, because they can kill a good photo. In fact, some of them are so bad that no matter what you do, what light you use, even with flash, they are just irredeemable. It's like flogging a dead horse. But then some of them are excellent. Let me start with Sigma 20mm 1.4 art. This is a flat lens, might be good for architecture, for reproduction, for astronomy, but it kills everything that is half alive. Not for me. Move on to the Tamron 15 to 30 f2.8 G2 zoom. That lens was considered a marvel. In the wide category, it was considered quite an achievement at the time, even surpassing the Nikon 14 to 24. But I find it too flat, similar to the Sigma, really. You know, if I thought those two lenses were bad, there's the Tokina 16 to 28 Opera, which is horrible. Look at the following example. It shows you just how much damage a bad lens can cause. How it can kill a good dynamic situation. So that was another mistake. Now for the good part. This is the Nikon D series 20 to 35 millimeters. It used to be one of the professional zooms for Nikon in the late 80s, early 90s, I think. It wasn't produced for many years. It's a nice poppy lens, really excellent. Out of the wide zooms, it's still probably the one I consider the best. Next is a lens more suitable to low light, which is what I'm after. This is the Folklander 21mm f1.4. It's a wide lens, just the way I like them. It's bright and vast and airy. Really sucks in the light and produces large, luminous results. And it's full of juice. It's lively. I really love this lens. 24mm is an in-between focal length for me. It is not as wide as the 20 category, but it still stretches out the corners of the frame. So for those purposes, 28 is a focal length I find more suitable. The difference between 24 and 28 is smaller than the difference between 20 and 24. So it's a bit of a redundant focal length, but it can still produce very nice results, depending on the glass you use, of course. Now, this is the Sigma Art Zoom 24 to 35 f2. It's an unusually fast zoom, very large, heavy. It's surprisingly sharp, very precise, but then it's too sharp for my needs, and this emphasis on sharpness kills any life that might have been in it. It's one of the flattest lenses in my possession. It's mostly extra low dispersion glass, and even the rear element is made of this type of glass, so there is no chance for any dispersion to develop. It can really kill a good photo. Now, the Nikon 24mm f2.8D. That is a nice small lens with good depth perception, but I find it just too contrasty, so it's not very good for shooting out in broad daylight. The transitions are a little bit too harsh for my taste. A third lens is this one. This is the Nikon 24mm f1.4 G type. This is a lovely lens. It's full of juice, lively. It's made for life, for people especially. It can really make the image pop. Very strong 3D rendition. Another zoom I own is the Nikon 24 to 120 f4, which is a bit better than the Sigma, but still nothing to write home about. I bought it mainly to use with video, because it's stabilized. It's one of the better options if you want to shoot video with DSLR. But now with mirrorless available, I would use other lenses. Now 35 millimeters. This is again an in-between focal length. As a wide, I prefer 28 because you can fit more in the scene than with a 35. As a normal focal length, I prefer 40 because at 40 millimeters you get a bit more compression than with 35 millimeter. But it used to be a favorite wide focal length for me. So I've collected quite a few lenses in this focal range over the years. Now I'll start with Sigma Art 35mm f1.4. I've got the first version of this lens, the original. What can I say? It's a flat lens. It's really not suitable for my needs. But it's sharp. It used to be better than the first party lenses at the time, quite revolutionary. Simply not for me. Then there is the Tamron 35mm f1.4. At the time, Tamron declared it was the best lens it ever made. But again, it's flat. It's disappointing from my perspective. It's a very sharp lens, very nice, smooth, out of focus rendition, quite similar to the Sigma. Then there is the Nikon 35mm f2D, which is a small lens. I quite like it. It's high contrast, so I wouldn't shoot it in broad daylight, but it's nice, it's poppy, good rendition. Then there is the Nikon 35mm f1.4G, which is lovely. It's it has a special rendering similar to other f1.4 lenses made by Nikon, similar to what you see on the screen right now with the 28. Then there is this one, the Voigtlander 35mm Nocton f1.5, which is a small lens. It has quite a good sense of depth, quite poppy. Although it's not my favorite Voigtlander, I must admit. I can't really define why I don't like it so much, but it's a good option for 3D pop. Really small and light. Then there is this one. It's the Light Lens Labs 35mm f2, which is a replica of the original Leica Zoomicron 35mm 8 elements from the 1960s. You can see it's yellow glass. That's an interesting detail. This glass is full of lead, which is not such a popular thing anymore. But the manufacturer went to a considerable length to really copy the original Leica Zoomicron, and it has quite a vintage look, I would say, because of the dense glass. It gives a peculiar, quite meaty rendition of the bokeh, which is not to everyone's taste, I suppose, but I quite like it. And it's a good poppy lens with slightly lower contrast than the Voigtlander, I think, which is also something I quite like. Out of the zooms, there is the Tamron 35mm to 150, f2 to f4, f2.8, sorry, to f4, which is quite a flat lens. It's also sharp, really good sharpness for a zoom lens, but it's flat. It's even for a general use lens, I would much rather use the Nikon 28-105. 40 millimeters are the normal field of view for me. It combines straight lines, some compression, not too much, it's not a telephoto, but more so than the wide-angle lenses. There are not many 40 millimeter lenses made. Some more made in recent years, but this focal length was somehow neglected by manufacturers for many years. I have 4 dedicated 40 millimeter lenses. First one is the Sigma Art f1.4 prime. It's a beast of a lens, large, the sharpest lens I own by far, but dead. You know what I mean, like most other Sigmas. Next is this one. This is the Nikon Z-mount 40 millimeters f2. It's a simple lens, has a plastic mount, not that I care. Very simple design, no special glass whatsoever, but this is what makes it so nice. True to life results, and I like it very much. Next is the Voigtlander 40 millimeter 1.4 Classic. This is a modern vintage lens. I think it has a lot of flint glass, dense glass inside. So it is very poppy. You can easily get the juice from it, and the bokeh is, let's say, interesting. It's not very smooth by any means, but I quite like it. It's slightly on the soft side, especially wide open, but for my use it doesn't bother me too much. Somewhat more balanced iteration is the Voigtlander 40 millimeter f1.2. This is a surprisingly small lens for its really wide maximum aperture. It's a very nice lens, a bit less poppy than the f1.4 Classic, but it can still create nice true-to-life images in most conditions. Now you have to stop it down a little bit in order to get a good transition from sharpness to unsharpness, but at about f2 it's very decent. I like this lens because I shoot a lot in low light, and it provides what I'm expecting.